Hello and welcome to this Pilates session for juniors. My name's Helena and I'm a Pilates teacher and a children's physio based here in Swansea. Before taking part in this Pilates session, please make sure that you've got a clear, safe environment to exercise in. Also, make sure that you've got a grown-up nearby to help you if needed. Remember, listen to your body and only do the exercises that you are comfortable doing. And if you have got any concerns or any questions, have a chat with a physio that recommended these exercises to you. And most importantly, enjoy the session. Hi, and welcome to this Pilates session, which is suitable for children aged 8 to 10 years old. And in this session, we're going to be thinking about all things related to the sky. It will be really useful, as well as having your folded towel or cushion around. If you've got a nice soft ball, that can be anything at all, a special ball like this, or maybe just a football at home, whatever you've got to hand will be really useful. So as I said, we're going to be thinking about all things related to the sky. And I don't know about you, but I think about maybe aeroplanes, maybe the sun, maybe stars, maybe birds flying. We'll be thinking about all sorts. And we're going to make a start lying down on our backs. Now, before we start, we're going to think about how we breathe. And we are going to imagine that we are breathing big balloons, wider and wider, ready to blow them out to float away into the sky. And we're going to imagine that our breath in is getting ready to breathe out into those big balloons that are going to float high into the sky. So we're going to take a big breath in, and as you breathe out through your mouth, you're blowing air into those big balloons as they float up and up and up into the sky. Let's take another big breath in. And blow out into those balloons. And as they blow out, up into the sky. And another big breath in. And again, blowing those balloons up into the sky. One more time, big breath in. And blow those balloons up into the sky. And we're going to come up now and imagine that we are those balloons. So we're going to tuck our knees in close to our chest. And we're going to make ourselves into that balloon. And we're going to roll back. And we're going to come up. And we're going to go roll back. And we're going to come up. And we're going to roll back. And this time we're going to come up and clap as the balloon pops up in the air. And we're going to roll down. And we're going to crouch and tuck our knees in again. And we're going to roll back. And we're going to come up. And we're going to roll back. And we're going to come up. And one more time, roll back and up into the air and pop as the balloon pops into the air. One more time, we're going to roll down to the floor. We're going to tuck our knees in. One last set. We're going to roll back. And we're going to come up. And we're going to roll back. And we're going to come up. One last one. Roll back. We're going to come up into the air. Big pop of those balloons. And reach those arms round and down. Now, we're going to roll back onto the floor. Roll, roll, roll through our spine. All the way back down onto our backs. Now, something else that you might see in the sky might be a helicopter. And we're going to imagine that our arms are the blades of the helicopter. So our arms are nice and long and tall towards the ceiling. And we're going to reach those arms overhead and back and round and up. Imagining those blades of the helicopter. And if we think about a helicopter and those blades are whirring round and round, the rest of the helicopter stays lovely and still. So I want you to make sure that the rest of you is lovely and still while your arms circle round and down, and again, round and down. One last time. Overhead, round and down by our side. And let's come across and back up. Now, also, if we think about a helicopter, we're going to think about the blades going round again. Use your folded towel underneath your bottom if you need to. And we're going to have both legs out to the side like this if you can. If it's a little bit tricky and too much of a stretch, have your knees just a little bit bent. So we're going back to think about the blades of a helicopter, but this time we're sitting up and we're going to rotate around and around one side and then the other side. And this is going to give you a lovely stretch into the middle of your back. Round and round. And then we're going to come round and reach down one leg. Open those blades of that helicopter round. And we're going to reach down the other leg. Open the blades of that helicopter round, down that leg. And we've got one last one. And down that leg. Fantastic. Well done. And let's bring our legs and arms back. Now, we're going to go onto our tummies. So let's bring our towel round. And this time we are going to imagine that we are an eagle soaring through the sky, flying really low. So let's have our heads against our cushions. And we are going to have our arms down by our side. And the wings of that eagle are flapping up and down. And we're imagining that eagle is soaring through the sky, reaching those wings up and down. And now those wings are going to go up and round and forwards and round and down. And again, they're going to reach up and sweep round and forwards and round and down. And the rest of us wants to stay very still whilst we reach our wings round and forwards and round and down. Now this time, I think that eagle in the sky has seen something on the ground below that it wants to get. So it's going to come up and it's going to dart down towards the floor. And we're going to come up and it's going to dart down towards the floor. Keep your back and your neck lovely and long. It's coming up and it's darting down towards the floor and up again one last time and down towards the floor. Now we're going to bring our arms round to the side of us and we're going to pretend to be a swan this time. Now, you don't often see swans going through the air, but we're going to still imagine that we're going to be a swan and we're going to have our elbows down and our shoulders down and we're going to keep our necks lovely and long and we're going to lift our foreheads away from that cushion and then we're going to pop it back down on the cushion. And again, keep those shoulders drawn down. We're going to lift that forehead away from the cushion. And then back down onto the cushion. Make sure you keep breathing nice and wide. Imagining you're filling those balloons in your chest. Those two lungs in your chest full of air. One last one. And back down. Now, we're going to come up and we're going to sit onto our heels for a lovely stretch all the way through our backs. Little sway side to side, stretching all the way through those shoulders, all the way through to the tips of your fingers. And keeping that nice big breath Going all the way into those big balloon lungs. And out. Okay, now we're going to go onto our side. Make sure that you've got your cushion, your towel, and we're going to pop it between our head and our underneath arm. And let's make sure that we've got our legs and the rest of our body in a nice long line. Now, if it's a bit tricky to stay still, you can bend your underneath leg ever slightly. But if you can, keep nice and long. It's a really good test of your balance. Have your fingertips just in front of your waist, and we're going to imagine with our top leg that we are drawing a rainbow all the way through the sky. So let's go. With that big toe, draw that rainbow all the way up through the sky and all the way down. And again, drawing that rainbow up through the sky and down, and see if we can keep really still. If you are feeling a bit wobbly, just bend that underneath leg as you draw that rainbow with the top leg up and down. Lovely. And again, up and down. And one last one, all the way up and all the way down. Now, take your time. We're going to come up and we're going to sit cross-legged. And if sitting cross-legged is a little bit hard, you can sit with your legs bent and your feet flat, just like this. You can also use your towel or cushion just to give you a little bit of support to stay up nice and tall. Now we're going to imagine that our arms are the wings of a bird soaring through the sky. And we're going to sweep one arm up, up, up through the air and across. Big breath in, and then swoop that wing all the way back down. And again for the other side, sweep that arm up, up, up and across. And all the way back down. Lovely. And again, sweep that arm up through the air. And sweep it all the way back down. And one last one, big sweeping of those wings, up, up, up and across. Wonderful. And back down. Now, we've worked these leg muscles with our rainbow drawing. We need to work the other ones, don't we? So let's go on our side. Taking your cushion, and let's set ourselves up for our rainbow drawing on this side. Now, don't forget, if you feel a little bit wobbly, you can bend that underneath leg. It's up to you. So let's start off with our fingertips just in front of our waist, and our top leg, our top foot is going to draw a rainbow all the way through the air, up and then down. And see if we can keep lovely and still, drawing that rainbow up through the air and down. See if we can keep the rest of us nice and still and keep taking those big deep breaths wide into those big balloon lungs. As you let that breath go, those balloons are floating off into the air. Lovely. One more, all the way up and down. Wonderful. Now we're going to change onto all fours. So we're going to have two hands just in front of our shoulders and our knees underneath our hips. And we're going to imagine that it's the night sky this time, and we're going to reach up and get stars from the night sky. So keeping our backs really, really straight and nice and still, we're going to take one hand and we're going to reach through and we're going to pick up a star from the sky and we're going to pop it down on the floor. And then we're going to take our other hand and we're going to reach in between the other arm and leg and we're going to reach up into the sky and pop it down. And then we're going to reach through again. And we're going to reach up into the sky and pop that star down. And again, reach through, reach up tall for that star. And pop it on the floor. I think we've got 2 more stars to get, so we're going to thread through and reach for that star. And pop it on the floor. One last one to get. Reaching through and popping it down. Now, let's sit back onto our feet. We're going to bring our arms round and we're going to imagine that we are a big, fluffy cloud floating all the way through the sky. And all I want you to think about while you imagine that you're a big, fluffy cloud is your big, deep breath coming into your lungs, imagining that your lungs are those balloons filling with air. And then as you let that breath go, those balloons are being blown away into the sky, floating far, far away. Lovely. And we're going to slowly come up. And we're going to tuck our toes underneath us. And we're going to crouch really low. And what we're going to do now is pretend that we are a butterfly coming out of your cocoon. So we're all crouched low. And we're going to lower our heels down. And we're going to stay crouched. And we're going to come up nice and slowly. And we're going to reach our arms up, 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 all the way to the sky. And we're going to go up onto our tiptoes. And we're going to circle those arms and have a big reach of those wings as we open up our wings, ready to fly. And we're going to test those wings out as we come down into a little squat. And we're going to use our new wings. We're brand new butterflies, just come out of its cocoon. And we are rearing our wings up and down. Nice stretch through those arms. Up and down. One more. Up and down. Well done, and back up tall. Now, if you've got your ball close by, we're going to imagine that your ball is the sun. And this is where we're going to have a bit more of a test of our balance. So we're going to hold our ball and we're going to bring one foot up and one knee up. And we're going to pass the ball underneath that knee. And we're going to pass it up and overhead, back to the other hand, round and down. And we're going to pass it underneath the same knee, round and up overhead, round and down. One last one for this side. Ooh, can we keep our balance? Round and up and overhead. And let's bring our arms down and let's bring our leg down. Shake those legs out. We're going to do the same for the other side. Let's make sure we're nice and strong through this leg. We're going to fold this leg up. We're going to imagine this is the sun and we're passing the sun up and overhead. And we're going to pass it underneath that thigh. We're going to reach up, up, up. Pass it up and overhead. And underneath that thigh. Well done. This is a real balance challenge, this is. You're doing brilliantly. Reach that ball up and overhead. Round. And I think we've just got one more passing of this sun up and overhead. Well done. And round and down. And let's let that leg go. Now, let's pop the ball down. We're going to come to the end of the mat, so we've got a good bit of space in front of us. And we're going to roll all the way down to work through our spines. And this time we're going to make ourselves into a rainbow, our whole bodies into a rainbow. We're going to roll down, and when our hands reach here, the floor, we're going to walk our hands forward. And we're going to make ourselves into a rainbow. We're going to take a big breath in. And then as we breathe out, we're going to walk our hands back. And we're going to roll all the way back up tall. I think we can do that one again. We're going to take a big breath in. And we're going to roll down, roll nice and loose. And when our hands reach the mat, we're going to walk our hands forward, all the way forward, making ourselves into a rainbow. Big breath in. And then we're going to walk our hands back, all the way back up tall. Then we can do one more. This is a super hard one, this one. So if it's a little bit too hard, feel free to leave out this next one. But if we can do one last one, this is a really good strength exercise. This is all the way out, then let's make ourselves into a rainbow. Big breath in, and then all the way back up tall. All the way back up tall. Well done. Now, this time, we're going to go back down, back onto our hands and knees. So let's roll all the way down onto the mat again. But then we're going to bend our knees and walk slightly forwards. And this time, we're going to imagine that we are an aeroplane soaring through the sky. Now, we want to keep a close check that we stay nice and still through our backs, all the way through our necks and our head and shoulders. And we are going to, first of all, reach one arm forward, reaching through those fingertips. And we're going to pop that hand back. And then we're going to reach another arm forwards. And then we're going to pop that hand back. And let's see if we can do the same with our legs. So we're going to stay strong through our arms, and we're going to reach one leg out behind us. Can we stay nice and still? And let's pop that knee back. And let's reach the other leg out behind us. Well done. Fantastic. And back. And let's go back to our arms. We're going to reach one arm, and we're going to bring it around to the side, like the wings of an aeroplane. And then we're going to reach forward and back down. And let's do the same with the other one. So we're going to reach that arm out forwards, all the way around to the side, and back forwards. And then we're going to work our legs again for an extra challenge. We're going to reach that one leg out behind us, nice and long. And back to the floor. And one last one before we have a rest. We're going to reach the other one out behind us. Fantastic. Well done. And now let's sit back onto the heels. Let's reach our arms forwards. Rest our heads down on the floor. And then sweep the arms all the way back round and let the shoulders rest. And we're going to take a few moments as we finish to imagine that we are a lovely, white, soft, fluffy cloud floating through the air. You're going to take a big breath in. And as you let that breath go, I want you to imagine that you're blowing that white, soft, fluffy cloud across the sky, far, far away. Big breath in. And blow that white cloud far, far away. And one more big breath in. Blowing that soft cloud all the way through the air, far, far away. And come up nice and tall. Let's come round. And well done. That brings us to the end of our session all about the sky.